Welcome to the Jersey City Show. Pat O'Melia here, you concerned Jersey City resident. And you know what? We're doing this show live because you're concerned. You're so concerned, I do it live. We're live on Comcast 190. We're live on hmgtvshows.com. We're live on livestream.com where you can download the app. And you can watch us on your smartphone, your tablet, your web-enabled television. You can, everywhere. We're everywhere. And there's a ton of other programming on livestream.com. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, we're on the Roku system Live, we're Apple TV, we're everywhere. We're there, and if you need to get in touch with me, the best place is HMG TV Shows. There, you can go to the contact section, you can send me an email. If you have a problem in the fine city of Jersey City, which is impossible, this is utopia here, but in case, give me a call, send me an email rather. You got a problem with the County of Hudson, we can help you there. You got a problem with a consumer issue, we can help you there. That's how we cut our teeth, helping people. Back in the old days, with the old Jersey City Talking Radio Show, that's how we came about doing all this stuff. You can tweet us at JC Hudson Media. Like us on Facebook. I got to make sure I do this stuff, by the way. On YouTube, you subscribe to us. We got to put that little bell deal on there. And like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're asking a lot of things. There's a lot of work to following people. And social media, you know, that's the medium now. But that may change to a degree with the high school shootings. We're going to talk about some of that when we get back. We got a busy show. A lot of things, you know, I'm fresh off the State of the City with Mayor Fulop. I attended that. Usually I don't attend those things, but he invited me. See, if you invite me, I'll go. Fundraisers, you're going to have a fundraiser, political fundraiser. If I'm invited, I go. And actually, when I attend a political fundraiser, I pay. That's why when people talk about contributions to Fulop and they get contracts, I don't know, I give Steve $3,000, $4,000 a year. I don't get anything. Whatever fundraiser he has, I go to. I don't go to the beer ones, the $20 ones. For that matter, I had a woman getting a haircut. As you can see, I got a haircut. From Jersey Avenue, she had taken her elderly father to the same barber I use. That's a barber. Actually, my barber is like 90. She was giving me a hard time over the revow. We're going to do the revow. We're going to talk about the revow. I'm going to explain how we got to where we are with the revow. We're going to talk about, you know, Liberty State Park. I was in touch with the New Jersey DEP today. I'm setting up an interview with them. I'm going to talk about our fire program. We got to, you know, we can help fire victims in Jersey City. We got to put together a mechanism on how to activate it. And everything's Jersey City, everything revolves around the mayor. As in my notes here, he's the rock star. So we're going to talk about that. I think it's 65 families right now are displaced. So these are the things we want to work on. You know, we're going to talk about New Jersey is #1 in property taxes, the most expensive state in the nation. We're going to talk about that. And I'm going to drink my coffee during a commercial break. As I always say, you're watching the Jersey City Show. You're watching it live. You can't go wrong when you're watching this thing live. I got to waste about 5 seconds. All right, now we can go. You're watching this live. We're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. We're back. I was cleaning my glasses. You're watching the Jersey City Show, and you're watching it live. It is live. You know, a friend of mine just passed on. Just looking at the Burns Brothers commercial. Johnny Burns' father passed on, also Mr. Burns. Kenny Oswalt. Kenny was like a generation ahead of me, about 12, 14 years older than me. But he was a guy that was in the neighborhood, and you know, he was very helpful to all the guys coming up. And you know, Kenny just passed on. He was a guy that didn't get cheated in life. You know, there's a commercial, if you advise people you have no right advising. That was Kenny Oswald. Kenny Oswald was on the top, he was on the bottom, but this guy, if he failed, he got up. He really was a Jersey City guy. You knock him down, he got up. He was like a Weeble. Remember them things, Weebles? When you're at these wakes, you get to see the guys you grew up with, your friends, you know, we all moved on. And, you know, talk about the illnesses, what's, you know, we're like, you know, late 50s, 60s now. And it's funny when I'm talking to these guys, they all have knee problems. Now, I have 2 bad knees. For that matter, they were ready to take my left one last year. I went through the therapy and the gel shots. And it dawned on me as I'm talking to all these guys and who's got knee problems, that all the guys that have these knee problems, see, I contributed mine to athletics and playing football and baseball as a catcher. People slid into me, and I was in the trailer repair business, bought and sold them. All the guys that have bad knees were all trailer mechanics with me. We were jumping out of trailers for years. That's 4 feet off the ground. And we would jump 20, 30 times, 50 times a day, whatever it is. Now that dawned on it, wasn't so much the sports. It was jumping out of those trailers. High school. You know, high school should be the best time of your life when you think back on it. I'm sure you think, it was the best time of my life, high school. That's not the case anymore. Now, what happened in Florida is changing the dialogue. This may be the straw that broke the camel's back. People may actually start listening as to gun enforcement. I hate to say gun control because we're always controlling the law-abiding legal owners, people who are buying guns to protect their home or sport or what have you. And every time we start turning that screw to control and tighten up gun laws, it's always on the honest, law-abiding person. See, I don't have a problem with the NRA. Everybody's after the NRA. NRA doesn't sell guns. They don't build guns. They advocate for the gun enthusiast. They advocate for the Second Amendment. There are people who are advocating against the Second Amendment and the gun enthusiast. So I don't have a problem with that. You know, it bothers me when I say, well, we'll boycott them because we don't agree with it. You know, you don't agree with something, you want to destroy that something. You want to eliminate it. And that's not how we're supposed to work. But what we need to do, and I said in a previous show, we got to figure out why these kids are killing kids. Is it the weapon or the gun we should concentrate on? Now, President Trump is, you know, he's talking about changing the gun laws to 21. Right now, you can buy a gun at 18. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes in Jersey or have a beer until you're 21, but you can buy a gun. Yeah, I guess we got to define what is an adult now. Is it 18? Is it 21? Also, again, I'm not a gun owner. I'm not an NRA. I don't think we need assault weapons, but who am I to say how you can protect your home and your family? If you think you need an assault weapon, who am I to say you don't? And I know down the South and in the Midwest, they're on the farms. They need some high-powered weapons. Again, we're all city people. There's no coyotes outside there. What's happening at the high schools now, I know Secaucus is now having armed cops walking around the schools. We're turning our high schools into lockdown prisons. They're not going to be the fun place anymore. You know, in Jersey yesterday, I think at Dumont, some kid, social media, I'm going to shoot up the school. They went and got this kid. They locked him up, go to the house. Sure enough, the kid had a rifle. I'm not sure why kids are killing kids, but the targets with these kids is always going back to the school. They're not going to a theater or a mall or a park or something. They're going back to the school. There's got to be a reason why it's the school. And I can only assume that it is the area that they all orbit. Everything goes around high school, your glee cup, your sports, your friends, your girlfriends, the girl you want to date. Their whole life is that school. And when things don't work out, and the kids that are making these threats or do this, they haven't been successful in high school. And it may be a case they can't deal with adversity or failure or the word no. You know, sports now, they don't keep scores. You know, kids don't go out on their own anymore. They're always in mom's vision. There's a different thing we're doing with children than we did in our time. When I was a kid, we got out of school. We were gone until the can company lights went on, and then we had to go home. Nobody knew where the hell we were. The president's talking about changing the age to 21. Assault weapon ban. I think it is an assault weapon ban. But again, it brings me back to, is it the weapon or the person? You know, they can restrict gun sales as much as they can. They can tighten the controls. But again, you always tighten these controls on people who are legally buying these. Now, if you're legally buying 10 weapons in 2 weeks, you should get a visit. If you're buying 5,000 rounds of ammo, you should get a bit. Somebody's got to say, why do you need 5,000 rounds of ammo? Or you're buying all these guns in a short period of time. But if somebody's going to buy a gun, I think they should be allowed to buy a gun. But everybody's focusing on the guns, and we're not focusing on what happened here. Armed people patrolling the hallways of the schools. Well, you know, there were 3 sheriff's offices at the school in Florida, and none of them did anything. You know, one just resigned. Now the thing is, well, I thought there were firecrackers from outside the school. I'm pretty sure you knew where it was. But the guy, he's like 30-some-odd years on the force, the one sheriff everybody's focusing on. I guarantee you, the department knew he isn't exactly the guy that's going to run in and try to apprehend the bad guy with the gun. They probably knew that. That's probably why they sent him to school as a human resource officer. He wasn't the guy that was going to mix it up. And you, well, span of time, you kind of know who's what, who's the 70 era kind of cop and who's going to go the other way. And this was to go the other way. And there were 2 other people that went the other way also. So there's a problem there. Now, you can train people all you want. When the moment happens, you're going to freeze or you're going to be scared. Believe me, that's got to be a frightening situation where there's gunfire and you know there's death inside there. But what do we do with our high schools? Do you want to turn them into lockdowns? You know, your communities, Mawa's doing it, Sea Caucus is doing it. I'd hate to see that come about, but we have to protect the kids, but where do we stop? You know, Sandy Hook wasn't a high school. Do gay care, elementary, middle school, high school? You know, what kind of world are we living in now? You know, we get concerns with terrorism. We have people with mental health issues that we have to be concerned about on the streets. They stab people. They throw acid on people. We got kids that are shooting up schools. Somehow, we got off the tracks. And somebody a lot smarter than me has got to figure out how to back on those tracks. You know, why are we living in this type of environment where there's death every turn? You know, from terrorism to kids shooting up high schools to people on the streets that probably shouldn't be on the streets. Something went wrong here, and that's not the United States of America I grew up in. But yeah, we have to react to that. And is it turning our high schools into jails? I don't know, but I guess we'll have to. All right, we're going to break for the Jersey City Show commercials. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. We're back watching the Jersey City Show. As usual, I fixed my watch. I don't know why. You know, another effort to do. I'm going to see if I can get a mental health professional that we can interview, and maybe they can give us a handle on what's happening with our youth, because really what it boils down is kids are killing kids. And that we have to understand why. You know, what are the signs we should be looking for? And the cruise guy, there were a ton of signs this kid had out there. But the problem is, in our politically correct world, we're not allowed to put all the clues together because there's, you know, our civil rights and there's protected information. State of the City speech. Steve Fulop. It was actually his best one of all the ones that I've either attended or watched on YouTube. It was his best. It was short. It was sweet. I think it went about 25 minutes. The city council chambers were packed. I was trying to tell Fulop, why don't you do this in a Lowe's Theater where there's actually parking? Now, one of the other things, I got to ask Mayor Fulop this, and then get a chance to talk about it. Why the hell do we have all this police equipment and fire equipment and emergency equipment all around City Hall as some friggin' display of wasting money? All that equipment, and then we took all the parking away, by the way, for the state of the city. No parking signs everywhere. Full upset I could park in the City Hall parking lot, but unfortunately that was packed when I got there. I did find a spot across from City Hall where a woman started giving me a problem, saying, "You here for whatever's going on at the City Hall?" I said, "Yes, you're taking all the parking, there's no parking around it," and she was right. Their whole neighborhood is impacted because we put on this show. And all the parking restrictions around City Hall was to park fire trucks and special equipment and EMS units and police vehicles, emergency service units. Why the hell are we doing that? That's all money. There's a meters a tick in there. We took this equipment out of service, but, the personnel with it, they're on the clock. Why are we doing this? You think the average Jersey City person doesn't know what the hell a fire truck looks like? Or the emergency service unit doesn't look like? Or a police car doesn't look like? Or, come on. You don't drag all these people there. There's cops all over the friggin' place. It's the state of the city speech. But like I said, it was Steve's best one to date, outside of no parking everywhere. He talked about the off-duty police program that is controversial. It has brought some embarrassment to the city of Jersey City. 11 cops have pled guilty to no-show or low-show jobs where they were taking money. One of them was the chief of police. Fulop wants to trade that in for another program where he'll use basically crossing guards to watch somebody dig a hole or deliver sheetrock. And he mentioned public service. He said when public service is doing some sort of work on your street, usually they come around after we pave our streets and they dig it up. He's going to have a safety procedure in place for like public service or United Water or whatever big companies are working in Jersey City. They'll have their own emergency crossing guards, a traffic specialist, that sort of thing. I'm still going to say, if somebody's going to close a city street, they got to have city personnel there. And it's going to be hard to tap into that $16 million that the off-duty program had available to them through various sources, private industry, public service, Home Depot, that sort of thing. Trying to get those kind of dollars when you're sending a crossing guard there. I'm not getting $150 an hour for an 80-year-old crossing guard to watch traffic as we dig a hole. That's why I still think we should have city security and should probably operate out of parking enforcement or NIDS or something like that. Yeah, you hate to leave money on the table, and there was $16 million. You don't want to leave that money on the table. You want to bring that money into the city, but you want to be able to offset costs. I don't want the city to turn a profit. I just want it to break even. He was talking about PS&G. Since they don't have to hire a bunch of cops when they're digging a hole, they should reduce your cost here in Jersey City. We'll see how that goes. As if PS&G does anything, it raises, increases. He spoke about the new CCTV cameras. I think there's 100 that's been installed. There's another 40 coming. Now, if you've watched this show or you listened to my radio show over the years, the problem with CCTV is none of the cameras were compatible. When the grant monies ran out for those cameras went dark. We didn't maintain them. We didn't repair them. We couldn't maintain an inventory for repairs, so these things would go dark. And even if they worked, they were horrible. They worked good like their first day. I remember going to what we call the Bat Cave at the Parking Authority to film it when Tommy Kane was running it. Was it Tommy Kane? I think it was Tommy Kane. Dalton. Dalton was running it. And that looked great. But a little while after, it didn't look too good anymore. Mayor Fulop talked about the new hires for the police department and the fire department, for that matter. He had a bunch of cadets for the police department in the audience, which we probably had to pay, and all the other police and fire, which we probably had to pay. The thing is, if you take out all the city personnel out of the state of the city, things get pretty empty. He talked about the new City Hall Annex at MLK that they're going to do the grand opening next month. And surprise, surprise, there's going to be an addition to the City Hall Annex. We're going to build another building there, and that's going to have a parking deck. I would say let's wait and see how successful this has been, because when we took over the hub with all city departments, the hub is supposed to be a retail mall, and that didn't work out because the city started putting departments in there. You had city markets or whatever the hell that supermarket was. And in aisle 6, you had the building department there. We can get permits, and you reach over, you can get pickles. He talked about new parks, old and new, work they're going to do on Leonard Gordon Park. What is Leonard Gordon Park? Mosquito Park. Story with real quick one on Leonard Gordon. After 9/11, I wanted to name a park in Jersey City for the volunteers, all the people that helped after the tragic event of 9/11. And the park I was looking at was Mosquito Park. And I remember going to Glenn D. Cunningham and said, why don't we name this volunteer park instead of Mosquito Park? And I can't do that to Leonard Gordon. I said, who the hell is Leonard Gordon? I'm born and raised in Jersey City. I never knew Leonard Gordon was there. Mosquito Park. Glenn's like, did you really think that was the name of that park, Mosquito Park? I said, how the hell do I know? Mosquito Park to me. But it was Leonard Gordon Park. When I found out, it was named after a soldier, all right, I'm not going to steal the guy's park. But for all those years, I thought it was Mosquito Park. I never thought how I got the name. He talked about $2 million courtesy of State Senators Brian Stack and Sandy Cunningham for road paving and bike lanes, because we need bike lanes. He talked about the new Heights Police Department and a parking deck. The Heights Police Department will be built on the other side of Central Avenue in a parking lot or permit parking, so we'll lose parking. And the parking deck, along with residential development, will be in the Burger King lot. Those are holdovers from the year before. He talked about Vision Zero. I don't know if I got time to go into Vision Zero. It's like, that is zero. But the big elephant in the room at the State of the City speech was the rebound. And that we're going to talk about when we come back. You're watching the Jersey City Show, and you're watching it live. We'll be right back.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show, and you're watching it live on Comcast 190. You're watching it on Livestream.com. You're watching it on HMG TV shows. You're watching it on YouTube. You're watching it on Facebook. Oh, man, you're watching it all over. Now, at the State of the City, there was a big elephant. Nobody looked at it. It was there. And Philip alluded to it a little bit, the reval, and how unfair the reval is. There are problems with the reval, but we brought it on ourselves. We didn't do it since 1988. Is anybody surprised that property values, especially downtown Ward E, went up a bit since 1988? Of course. There was really no surprise. Like this woman on Jersey Avenue was in my ear about, I may have to give up my house. We can't afford it, and we can't really sell it because it needs a lot of work. Not everybody in downtown is a millionaire. People who were there since the 70s and the 80s, they're lifetime Jersey City people. They're no different than you and I, just that their property values increased tremendously. Now, it is a problem when your property tax went from $9,000 a year up to $34,000 a year. But you got to appreciate the property values also gone up tremendously, even though there might be some damage now with the tax reval and the equalization of the taxes. Nobody's property is going from $3 million down to $500,000. That's not going to happen. How did we get here to the reval? We should probably start there. We were moving along happily with Fulop protesting the reval that Mayor Healy commissioned, and he fought because, our old BA was part of the reval company, and he didn't appreciate, the picking of our old BA, and he just felt everything was improper and corrupt, and he didn't want to use the numbers, and many people felt he didn't want to expose the downtown area with those numbers. And if you remember, I would keep imploring Fulop to use those numbers because the property values had gone up steadily since then. If he used the numbers from the Healy reval, it still would have been high, but it wouldn't have been the big bite on the butt that the people in Ward E are getting. And it's going to, some other bites in the Heights, we're looking for it now. Those numbers haven't come out yet. If he used the old reval, it would have been bad, but not as bad as it is. And plus, we wouldn't have been out like $3 million. All total, we're at about $4 million that we had to pay the old reval company, including interest, and then we had to pay for a reval. And how did we get here? Why did Chris Christie tell Jersey City you have to do a reval? Remember when I said about Steve poking that bear? Well, that bear was Chris Christie. Mayor Fulop had purchased a house in the Heights, and the house was valued, I think, at $800,000. And the property taxes on the $800,000 home was like $7,700 a year. And there were people in Jersey City like, well, how can it be? My house is valued less and I'm paying more. And there was a state senator from Warren County, Senator Doherty, who made a big issue out of that. That, you know, if Fulop's house was up in Warren County, he'd be paying $25,000, $30,000 a year in property taxes. And he brought in the question of the Abbott funding. So that started this snowball. And that snowball took a while to get rolling. I remember doing the Shore Show in Seaside Heights with Ocean County people, and they're complaining about the Jersey City Abbott District, you know, the prices of the land in Jersey City as in relations to the property taxes. And you guys get Abbott funding, we're paying for your schools. And they always talked about Jersey City. They always forgot Hoboken was in there too. And I would thank them for helping us with our school budget, but I said also don't forget Hoboken. That started the attention on our reval. We kind of skated through there. Believe me, Brett Schindler didn't want to do it because there's nothing good that comes out of a reval. You know, last reval was it Jerry McCann? He was out of office. Or the Coochie, I forget which one of them. Nobody survives a reval. The council doesn't survive it. One of the reasons Fulop was pushing this thing off also. That's how we got here. We were pushing it. Glenn Cunningham didn't want to raise taxes. Brett didn't want to raise taxes. Harvey Smith didn't want to raise taxes. Mayor Healy eventually realized, you know, we were so out of whack that it had to be done. So he had commissioned a reval, realizing this is political suicide. But he knew it had to be done. So he commissioned it, but he did hold it off a little bit for election time. Because had those numbers come out, he would have probably really got crushed instead of, you know, Fulop beating him. Without a runoff, he would have got crushed. That's how we got here. Fulop purchased a home on Ogden Avenue. And that started the whole story statewide to the point where Chris Christie ordered a reval be done. Even though Fulop was saying, well, we're in courts with the old reval, they didn't want to hear about it. And they gave us a mandate of when it had to be done. So this was going to begin. That's how this got here. You know, not blaming Steve. You know, the young guy is getting married, wants to buy a house. He was supposed to buy a house in Greenville, but he didn't do that. He bought it on Ogden Avenue in the Heights. And it's a beautiful location, beautiful home. He did some renovations to it and all that. But that's how we got here. So when you're looking at things, and, you know, I know we like kicking that can, and in the State of the City speech, Mayor Fulop mentioned that other previous mayors did nothing. He didn't mention that Healy actually did start it. But he's right. Nobody wanted to do this because it's political friggin' suicide. If these numbers, the reval numbers came out prior to our election here, does Steve have record-breaking numbers? Whoa, no. Ward E is, downtown is furious down there. They just had a protest. They're going to have a protest every couple of weeks. And like I said, not everyone who lives in downtown is well-to-do. They're average Joes, a lot of them. They're just, you know, blue-collar Jersey City people. Just that they've been in that house. They've been in a good time. They've seen the area decay. Then they've seen it rebound. And right now, can they sell and get out of there? Yeah, and they can probably leave with a good buck. But do they want to leave Jersey City? A lot of them don't. They want to leave this house for their kids. I'm going to leave this to my daughter or my son. And the problem is now I'm stuck with this $34,000 a year property tax. There is the problem. Now, a lot of the buildings in downtown are abated, so they're not affected by this. just the ones that aren't abated. And really it gets down, when you look at downtown Jersey City, a lot of those buildings received 30-year abatement. So they got a while to go. So the people who truly got hurt was the mom and pops. Person that owned that brownstone, they bought that in the 70s or the 80s. They might have bought it in the 70s, early 80s, renovated it, and they were a young couple at that time. And this was going to be the nest egg, their retirement plan. But again, on the other side, everybody knew these values were far more, these homes were more valuable, far more valuable than they were on the books for. And everybody knew the property taxes were low. And the people in Greenville, as they suspected, they were underwriting the downtown area. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back.
Meineke Car Care, conveniently located at 700 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City, half a mile north of County Road. Meineke bumper-to-bumper car care. Brakes, exhaust, oil change, wheel alignments, batteries, CV joints, and so much more. First-rate service at a price you can afford. All major cards accepted. Apply for a Meineke card. Meineke, Jersey City. Stop by and let Sammy check your brakes for free.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show, and you're watching it live. It's alive, baby. Getting back to the rebound. This is, I should have brought my door hammer out with me. This is pounding on the heads of the people downtown. But on the flip side, you take Society Hill. Their taxes went down 33%. There was an equalization going on. Now, the people in Society Hill or in Greenville, now they're getting some breaks on their property taxes, but are they getting any retro breaks on it? Obviously they overpaid, but that's how it goes. They overpaid since 1988. They were underwriting the waterfront, but we had not done that rebound, and people just accepted the property tax situation as it was. And since the state was basically funding our schools, and we're an Abbott district, our property taxes were never like it was in other parts of the state. Now that's changing. Well, it's changing drastically for the people downtown. Now, Mayor Fulop, he is up to his butt in alligators. He has seen Ward E, his ward, turn ugly. They want some solutions. Now, if you recall, for the last couple of years, I was imploring Mayor Fulop to come up with some sort of plan where we can help the seniors and the disabled who are sure to get hurt by the rebound. We have not done that. We've complained, and we said, well, there's some inequities, it's not fair, the other mayors didn't do this, and blah, blah, blah. And he's right, the other mayors didn't. But, Fulop, he's been a councilman here and a mayor for about 12, 13 years now, so he's got to share a little bit of that blame. But for those councilman years, he's only one of 9. So he really can't force too much of an issue. And when once that rebound's done in your ward, Ward A, it's going to be devastating, why push it? Steve, during the State of the City speech, dropped a little bomb about going to the council about doing another rebound, a redo rebound. And he said it would only cost a fraction of the last rebound. Well, actually, we've had 2 last rebounds. One, we just spent like $4 million, and we have nothing to show for it. And the most recent one that A&S just did. Now, he's talking about doing another redo rebound, probably targeted at the downtown area, with the thought that property values are going to crater. And then with the redo rebound, it'll lessen the tax burden for the people in downtown. But remember, equalization. You know, we're not raising taxes, we're just spreading it out differently throughout the city. So the redo reval would help the people in downtown, but I think you need far more than 1 year to see the property values crater. But that's going to have to be predicated on property sales and so forth and so on. I'm not sure a 1 year is going to make a big difference. But, you know, do we want to go through a third reval? I doubt that, especially since the purpose of the redo reval would be to try to lessen the burden on the downtown Wardee people. But again, you lessen it here, you raise it up in the Heights or in Greenville or in Society Hill. Now, Greenville, Society Hill, those guys were paying the imbalance since 1988. Now, do we allow them to enjoy a little? Now, hey, listen, we should get on a regular reval interval. You know, you're going to do it every 3-5 years, whatever that magic number is. If it's 85%, if it falls below 85%, then we should do it. That's probably the best way to do it. And after, 2 or 3 revals, things really settle down. But to do a redo reval now, even though it will cost a fraction, of course, keep in mind, we're probably out about $8 million between the 2 revals. I don't think that's the way. Even the people in downtown who are holding protests every week or every other weekend, I think it's planned for, in downtown, even they said that's ridiculous. And you're right. Now, how can we help these people who are sitting on these big tax increases? You can't do a slow rollout. You know, pull up the financial guy. Maybe there's something the city can do in future when the sale is done on a building, kind of like a reverse mortgage. But the thing is, none of the people who were complaining about the tax increases wanted to do anything with the value of their homes. So it is really a tough situation. But in reality, like that woman from Jersey Avenue was saying, everybody knew that they were paying, their homes were way underassessed. Homes were assessed, a couple $100,000, things were worth $3 million. Everybody knew that. You've seen homes change hands in downtown. You've seen an acre of land sell for $35 million on the waterfront. Everybody knew. But everybody was happy with how things were. And who was complaining? Well, the people in Greenville were complaining, in Lafayette. They felt they were underwriting the downtown. It turns out they were right. Now, the reval numbers are still coming out in dribs and drabs. For that matter, I've been in touch with A&S. Later in the show, I'm going to put on a show with James Solomon. I'll get into that with A&S, and we're going to bring in a property tax appeal attorney. What happened here, it certainly could have been predicted. We knew what was going to go on. The thing was, what did we do to try to change it? Now, there were some comments. Again, this is all focusing on downtown. No other section in the Heights. Like I said, we're waiting in the Heights. We know what's coming, but it's not going to be anything near what happened to downtown. Somebody mentioned the gentrifiers got gentrified. And that may be an apt description of what happened. But the problem is we throw everybody in that gentrification pool down there. When you got that old-time Jersey City person from the 70s, listen, you've been here from the 70s and 80s. I'm going to say you're old-time Jersey City. Yeah, the people that moved over from Brooklyn and Staten Island and New York City, they moved here because property values were cheaper than Brooklyn, and the property taxes were incredibly cheaper. They knew. Now, when you're talking to that real estate person, that was the selling point. And we're telling these people, buy this property. Yeah, the market is great. The property taxes are so low, you can't go wrong. Look, look what you're paying in Brooklyn. And the people who were selling those homes, who bought them in the 70s and 80s and were getting out, Yvonne Belsa. Yvonne is, she's Jersey City true and true. You read about her in the paper. She's at every council meeting. One of the homes that they spotlighted in the Jersey Journal, the 10 that have taxes went from like $9,000 a year to $34,000 a year. One of those were Yvonne's. She sold out, 3-4 years ago. She got out when the getting was good, and now she moved up in the Heights. Everybody comes up to the Heights. she made the right decision. Now, she probably could have lasted a couple of more years and probably pulled a few more bucks out of it, but she bought at the right time. She basically sold at the right time, and she got out of there before the property taxes went high. Now, Yvonne may be complaining about abatements and all, but those abatements built the downtown, and it built the value in those homes. And now, the Grim Reaper's here to collect. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back.
Pan & Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panandpintoproperties.com. Pan & Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Plaza Auto Body, 700 Tunley Avenue in Jersey City. Your local collision specialist. Body and fender repair. On-site oven-baked paintwork. Fiberglass repair experts. Custom and classic car restoration. All insurance is welcome. 24-hour towing available. Licensed by the state of New Jersey. Plaza Auto Body, 700 Tunley Avenue, 201-222-3050. Plaza Auto Body, your bumper-to-bumper buddy.
We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. We're doing it live. We do it live for you. Now, it's funny. We start talking about the rebound. We start blaming it on Fulop. For the most part, you start getting likes on the Facebook or YouTube, wherever the hell it was. For old-timers here in Jersey City, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, the people in the Heights. Probably the Heights and the West Side, and I guess probably Greenville, too, where you have probably the deepest rooted people in Jersey City. Like my wife's family have been up in the Heights since the early 50s. Everybody on the block where my mother-in-law lives, they've been there forever. And now you're starting to see some of them dying off. They've moved away. They sold the homes. But, in the Heights, they've been there forever. And they're not going anywhere. They're going to give the house to the kids, or the kids already got the house. These are the frightening property owners right now, because they know that shoe's going to drop. And it is no surprise. We knew the shoe was going to drop as soon as Healy talked about this back in 2011. You're like, uh-oh. Now, keep in mind, you could have called the city, I guess, at any time and said, could you kindly come here and reassess my house? If you did some major renovations and went down to the MLK Hub and you went to aisle 6 to Mike Regan and the gang, not Mike Regan, Ray Myers, and got some building permits, then they came back and they assessed your property. So you probably, incrementally, as you were doing work on your property, the city was raising the assessment. Well, I'm sure you could have called, Ed down in the tax department and said, could you come reassess my house? Because the property taxes seem so low. Nobody's doing that. But now all these old-timers, they're like, we're waiting. That shoe's going to drop. I keep checking the website, but I've been in conversations with A&S, who is pretty damn secretive, by the way, at least when it comes to the media. I had to get, I'll be honest with you, I had to get in touch with Mayor Fulop because I wanted to do a show with A&S, James Solomon, and some tax appeal expert. So I called around, I got some names on who you can use for a tax appeal expert, and I would repeatedly call A&S. Now, I've been calling A&S for at least a year or so to bring them on, do a little interview, to get people up to speed on what has to be done. I spoke about all the ins and outs of the rebound, what you had to be prepared for, how many times they were going to come to your house before they used the largest curb, that sort of thing. They would never call me back. Now, the last time I called, and I'm actually getting they're screening the call. And I told the woman, I said, I never get a call back. I keep calling. Well, I'm sure I gave the message. I said, what are you worried about? I mean, what is the fear that the media may talk to you people? And I still haven't gotten that answer. So now I had to call Mayor Fulop. And I said, Mayor, we're trying to put this show together where we can bring in all the concerned people who have skin in the game and go over the whole procedure from the rebound, how it was done, how the numbers come out, what your rights are. And here's an appeal attorney who can tell you, what the chances are, how you go about filing an appeal, how successful. I want to know about the batting averages. A&S, they do a lot of these rebound numbers. But in the end, what is their batting average? Are they 50-50? They establish a price on a home, and through the appeals, they keep losing. You want to know about these. You want to know the ins and outs of this reballot and how to protect yourself and your home. And, of course, protect your property tax bill. And I had a problem with that. So Fulop had to get in touch with them and say, listen, I want you to work with this guy. He's a friend of mine. He's, he's a media member of the city of Jersey City. He's been here for years. He's the guy you should talk to. So I'm going to get with A&S. I spoke to James Solomon. It's going to be a 3-seater. You have 3 chairs. You have Solomon, tax attorney, and somebody from A&S. And we'll just go right through all the steps of it. Hopefully I don't have to be part of it, just produce it. But we should bring this to the public. We'll do it on Comcast, and we'll do it on our YouTube and our Facebook, and we'll archive it so you can go back to it. But this is the kind of thing. And the people at the woman at A&S says, well, we do some town halls. Well, yeah, I can reach the whole city instead of like 20 or 30 people at a time. Don't fear me. So that's our deal. Now remember, with these reballot numbers, they're not etched in stone. For that matter, the city's still got to accept it. You didn't get a tax bill on it yet, but you got a proposed tax bill, I guess. You can object to this with A&S. You can ask them to explain how they came up with this. What's the curve? There's a lot of information we want to know. Now, again, A&S isn't going to give me some of the information I'm interested in. I think the city has information from the 2 reballot. Now, we can't use the numbers from the first reballot, but you can use them comparisons, which I'm sure Fulop is doing. He's going to look at those reballot numbers that we couldn't use after 3 years with these. Now, one of my questions, since all these homes were physically inspected, do we know where the illegal apartments are? Now, when the A&S guy went in, again, he's not going to say that because he doesn't know. He doesn't know about the zoning. All he knows is physically what he sees. 1 family, 2 family, 3 family, that sort of thing. He doesn't know about the zoning. He doesn't care about the zoning. He's just there for the physical. But the city does, and they have that information. They know, well, let's see, so-and-so on Hancock. Got a 2-family and R2, blah, blah. Wait a minute here. We got 4 units here. How is this possible? What did we do with that information? That's something I need to get from the city. Again, the appraisal company, they're not interested in zoning. All I know is the physical. There's 3 families, 4 families, driveway, blah, 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 basement, that sort of thing. But they do list how many units. And that should be interesting for the mayor of Jersey City to say, well, we got a pretty good handle on the illegal apartments. Now, how many of these buildings were physically inspected? I heard it was in the 70s. Now I'm hearing it's about 80% of the city was inspected, and 20% wouldn't let the appraiser in. So that 20% went to the highest possible appraisal. Now, why wouldn't you let the appraisals in, that 20%? Probably because you're R1, R2, and you have 3 or 4 units in there. Now, I'll remind you, when you have illegal units in your home, you're committing a tax fraud on the feds, the state, and the city. You're committing an insurance fraud because you didn't tell this insurance company you're insured your home for a 1 or 2 family and you got a 4 family in it. There are a whole list of frauds that are being committed. And now the city, for the most part, probably has a good handle on that. So one of the things I'll be asking the mayor of Jersey City and the department heads is, well, where are we with this information? It's a rarity we have all this information. What is the city doing with that information? The city should have a pretty good idea where the illegal apartments are. Now, legal apartments, they're taking up city services, and the city's not getting the proper cut from those units. They take up street parking, the city's not getting the cut from those units. There's kids going to school, the city's not getting it. It just snowballs in there. But I warn you, there's a ton of frauds that are committed with illegal apartments. And now we have that information. Now again, A&S has no idea about illegal apartments or how many units, but the city does. The city has all that information. So what's the city going to do? It'll be interesting to watch. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring.
Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. You're watching it live. We got one segment left, so I got to kind of put all my information into one spot. As we're talking about these rebounds, I just did the Tom's River Show. I sit in as the host there. New Jersey is number one again. Atom Data Solutions identified the following 10 states as having the highest effective property tax rates in 2016. 2017 numbers are still being worked. Guess who's number one? New Jersey. Number 2 is Illinois. Number 3 is Texas. Number 4 is New Hampshire. Vermont comes in next. Connecticut. More than Connecticut. Pennsylvania. And there's New York. Why we need to get the house in order with the state. Speaking of house in order, I've been in contact with Catherine McCabe. She is the new head of the New Jersey DEP. She hasn't been confirmed yet. She's acting. I want to do an interview with her concerning Liberty State Park. Now, there is a decision that has to be made by the state through the DEP of what to do with the request for the expansion of the marina and the expansion of Liberty National Golf Course. Both of these entities are looking to expand. Now, I'll reiterate this again, as I said in previous shows. It costs about $3.5 million to $4 million a year to maintain Liberty State Park. That's $3.5, $4 million a year that comes out of your pocket. Now, with these two entities looking to expand, and keep in mind there is a bulkhead that has to be replaced to the tune of $40 to $50 million, which guess who's going to pay for that? That would be you. Because we're talking, the Reval city taxes, but they're state taxes. And by the way, Reval, I got to get an answer to this. How does that affect the county formula? But that's something I'll work on getting an answer, because there's county taxes involved. Between the golf course and the marina, it is very conceivable that you could offset that $3-4 million a year that you wouldn't have to pay for anymore. Now, again, we're Jersey City people. We can easily go to Liberty State Park. How many people are coming up from LBI or Camden or other parts further away from Liberty State Park to enjoy the views is debatable. Jersey City people, I'm sure, utilize the park. Again, I've never gone to Liberty State Park and seen like crowds there. But again, Jersey City people, we're not really park people, but we keep building parks. But it's not like you ever see people waiting outside with picnic baskets to get in line. They're lined up to get into the park. We don't want to be number one anymore in property taxes. And the way you get away from that is start cutting it down. That's going to be Murphy's job. Phil Murphy, our new governor. Unless he wants to become Florio, McGreevy, Corzine, one and done, he's going to have to get the house in order. Here is a great example of getting the house in order. If you can offset that $3-4 million a year, to a good degree, maybe it's the whole thing. That's less money we need from you. Then the state goes to the city of Jersey City and the county of Hudson and says, listen, both of you guys got park departments. You have large crews. What do you say we work out a shared service agreement where the county and the city and the state mutually maintain this park? Again, offsetting the cost, spreading that cost out so it lessens the burden on the people of New Jersey. That can only be a win-win. Now listen, Sam Pessin, great guy, love Sam. I appreciate everything his family did. I understand the battle that his father fought to get that Liberty State Park, but there's a lot of park. And the argument is, well, it will block the views and the birds won't be able to land. Empty Sky, the memorial, 9/11 memorial there in Liberty, it was the same argument. The same people were against it. Sam Pessin was against it. Riverkeeper, everybody's against it. You're going to block the views, birds won't land. Well, empty skies there. The sun came up. You could still see New York. Birds flew in. They landed. Fish swam. The marina and the golf course, they'll take some land, but they'll improve that land. I never seen an ugly marina. You see postcards with pictures of marinas. The golf course, I'll never be on Liberty National. But, the guy fireman, I forgot. When I was doing fundraisers for fire victims, I remember the last one I did was for Hoboken. This guy gave us the passes for the golf course, Liberty National. It cost like $500,000 to join that thing. And we auctioned that off, whoever came up with the most money for the fire victims. And if I'm not mistaken, that would be Congressman Albie O'Series and County Exec Tom DeGeese spent the most money to get their hands on that. Actually, I was talking about getting passes in Bayonne, but Tom DeGeese said, no, you got to walk that course. No, let's go with Liberty National. So I spoke to them, and they were nice enough. So I'm going to bring in Catherine McCabe when she's confirmed, and she gets her feet on the ground and gets the lay of the land, and ask her what the mindset is with Liberty State Park, and I'm going to express my ideas and see where we go. As I mentioned earlier about the fire victims, I remember the radio we did, there was a Hoboken fire, a lot of people displaced. In Jersey City, I think so far this year, and we're in February, there are 65 families who have been displaced by major fires here in Jersey City. Hudson Media, with its studios, has the ability to fundraise. Comcast will give us the airtime to help these fire victims. Comcast's pretty decent company that way. Sometimes I got to fight with them, but they're pretty decent. We can get the time to do a telethon, a fundraiser, to help these people get back on their feet. We need to put in place a mechanism that activates that. If you're capable of helping somebody who's been displaced, we should do it. I'm capable of doing that here. We can go live on Comcast, and like we're doing with the show now, Facebook and YouTube, and help these people get back on their feet. Help these people stay in their neighborhood. Help these people, their children, stay in their schools. Those 65 families, they're scattered around. They're in motels, hotels, wherever the hell you can put these people until the insurance companies come by. If they had insurance and they can get back on their feet and get money for an apartment, and there's so many things that happen when you're burned out. Prescriptions, there's so many things you lose. Your ID, and we can have the mechanism to get that birth certificate, that passport, and that driver's license back. We have the ability, with all our political connections and working with the state and the federal government and the county and the city, to get these things done. In Jersey City's case, it all revolves around our rock star, and that's Mayor Fulop. But you would bring Mayor Fulop in, because this guy can print money, really. You bring Fulop on, you get attention. You bring in those the firefighters, the EMS people, all the emergency. You hate to say it, but bring us into the fire. Tell us what's happening. Tell us about the heroic activities of the fire department. Explain what happens. See what happens to these people when they're displaced. I'm a tough guy, and nothing scares me more than a fire. That thing scares the hell out of me. And it should scare the hell out of anyone. But, there's so much hardship. Once the fire is out and you're on a friggin' curb, you lost everything. We can help that. And you know what? Jersey City is a pretty damn generous city. We can help these people get back on their feet. Get enough that they can get a deposit on another apartment. They can get some furniture. They can get all their IDs back. We need to come up with that mechanism. And somehow we need to be able to press Fulop right in there. He's got a busy schedule. Somehow we need to do that. All right, I'm out of time. I'll talk to you Thursday on the Hudson County Show. You be good, you be safe. Talk to you later.